Sami has said, everything we do in our country, whether it's healthcare, education, business, and everything, hinges on the kind of infrastructure we have. And I have no doubt in my mind, President Mahama and NDC holds the most sterling record of infrastructure development in our country. And the records show everywhere we see. Ghana's economic growth and development aspirations hinge significantly on development of robust and modern infrastructure. The previous NDC government enduring legacy of infrastructure development in the areas of transportation, energy, water, housing, telecommunication, and others are issues that has already transformed the lives of many, and we still need to do more. As a result of the enduring legacy of President Mahama bequeathed to President Akufo-Addo completed transformational projects and gave value to the enhancement of the well-being of Ghanaians through some of these projects. Just to mention a few, the NPS project at Tema, which was done within the record period of time by President Mahama, gives a lot of revenue to the country today. Part of the revenues from NPS today is what this government is wasting at Wankra, where they have gone to actually enter into an agreement with a company and have decided that one of the companies who is not even part of the agreement is paid a lot of money. President Mama has already indicated we will need to look into that. But I'm just giving you that example of the enduring legacies and the value for money investments that are generating revenue for our country. As we speak, NPP hasn't done much or nothing in terms of building any new fort and other thing. Let the record show that. When it comes to aviation, President Mahama actually refurbished Terminal 2 at Kotoka International Airport, which is, if you were to go to Burkina Faso, Terminal 2 at Kotoka is as good as all that we have in Burkina Faso at the international airport. And actually added Terminal 3, which is flagship. Many people don't know that out of the building of Terminal 3 at Kotoka, Ghana has won a lot of awards as one of the best airports in the sub-region. And passenger numbers have increased. It created jobs and give us a better image. Let me put it on record. The NPP government has never started and completed any airport projects in our country. Indeed, what they have gone to complete at Kumasi is an NDC project. Yes, they came to Parliament to take an additional loan to complete an NDC project. So ask President Akufo-Addo, for the 8 years, what did you do with aviation? All that they did, to be honest, is to hand over our national career license to an organization which is yet to even buy a helicopter to operate and fly the flag of Ghana. I think we can do better when NDC comes to government. Interchanges. Indeed, President Mahama have shown evidence of interchanges that have been actually built and completed. Circle is not far away from here, and many more. The question is, the 20 interchanges the NPP promised that they will deliver before the end of this year. We all know that they only were able to manage a flyover in Tamale and Asino Hydro. As we speak, almost all those projects that we even handed over to them, including Flower Pot, flyover into, how do you call it, East Legon, is still not completed for 8 years. Doesn't need 8 years for you to complete that. So they have failed on that. When it comes to schools, we have built more schools than them. We have built brand new universities. Today, a child can go from Adaklu, go to Ho, and study medicine and become a medical doctor without even stepping foot in Accra, because President Mahama and the NDC have built a brand new school dedicated for medicine. That university only trains people in health-related fields, and this is an achievement. If you go to Sunyani, UNER, and other campuses. So the question is, which university has NPP started and completed in the 8 years? The answer is no, they haven't done any. All they have done is to basically try to rename existing universities, including polytechnics that the NDC have changed to technical universities. So on the field of education, they have failed that one as well. Hospitals, the records are there. Not far from here, you can see that in the Ridge Hospital, the people forget that is not all that Ridge Hospital is supposed to be. Ridge Hospital is supposed to have another phase that will make it even bigger. Rather, what the NPP did was to sink $250 million opposite of Ridge Hospital to build a Bank of Ghana. So for NPP, the building of a Bank of Ghana building is more important than the healthcare of the people of this country. So we know them, what they stand for. The question is, has NPP actually started and built any district hospital for the past 8 years? The answer is no. NPP has not built a single one. The same government that promised that they could build a 120-bed district hospital for 3.5 million, as said by Dr. Baumia, as we pointed out to him, he lied about it. He knows that he cannot do it. If Dr. Baumia can build a 120-bed fit for purpose district hospital, I beg him, I would have resigned as an MP, because what they did, it has nothing to do with that. Agenda 11 projects have all come to a halt because the funding was unsustainable. Many water and electrification project. Majority of communities in Adaklu, speaking for myself, were connected to the national grid under the NDC. Since NPP came to power, the question is, which communities have they connected? In fact, the electricity coverage in our country has actually reduced. Water coverage has reduced because the population is increasing and they are not adding the capacity in there for anything. Brothers and sisters, President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Baumia government will bequeath to President Mahama a collapsed economy with construction sites littered around the country, with one of the most expensive and useless projects being the expenditure of $58 million on the world's most expensive kit, as Honorable Kujeto pointed out. Those are the legacies you leave. And not only that, a huge unpaid bills. For instance, the Ghanaian road contractors have a bill of almost 15 billion sitting at the ministries of road and highways, unpaid 15 billion. And these are the things that President Akufo-Addo and Baumia will bequeath to President Mahama in January 2025. A very appalling record indeed. Just to remind our colleagues, in 2016, the last budget of the NDC, the entire appropriation bill was 50 billion. 50 billion was the entire appropriation bill. Salaries, development and everything was 50 billion. And at that time, the NPP queried the NDC's legacy of 1.5 billion cedis of certificates to contractors that were not paid, and also queried an amount of 15 billion, that is all the commitment of government on and road sector. Ladies and gentlemen, by the end of 2016, let me give you an example. You heard President Akufo-Addo talk about they have done 12,000 kilometers of road, after they ran away from the fact that they have built 10,800 kilometers of new road. We stripped them naked by proving that what President Akufo-Addo said in Parliament in the State of the Nation address was a plain lie. Indeed, they came out to say that they were talking about pothole patching and other things. How they measure pothole patching in kilometers remains unknown till today. But let me give you the record of NDC, the last year of NDC in government. Whilst we were doing, for instance, on different activities on the trunk road, NDC did activities on 10,738 kilometers of trunk road, 16,138 kilometers of feeder road, and 9,384 kilometers of urban road. Contrast this with the last record of the Akufo-Addo Baumia government in 2023. They could only carry out works on 4,809 kilometers of trunk roads, 8,984 kilometers of feeder road, and a paltry 2,318 kilometers of urban road. Lest we forget, the Akufo-Addo Baumia government claimed 10,800 kilometers of the so-called new road, totally discredited, as already said. Now they are talking about 12,000 kilometers of road. They don't qualify it as new road. They say activities on new road. But let me tell you, this figure is even problematic, because what I've just read to you in terms of what they have done, if you were to add them, it will be more than 12,000 kilometers. So somebody in NPP government does not do proper work, because what they have said is misleading, to say the least. So they have to come back again and explain that. The transformational infrastructure vision of President Mahama from 2025 will be anchored on the rollout of a $10 billion dollar big push policy. The 24-hour economy policy of the NDC will require efficient and effective infrastructure delivery delivered at the value that is meant to be what Ghanaians expect to do. So further in furtherance of this, these policies will, one, embark on a $10 billion accelerated infrastructure plan to drive job creation, and prioritize the completion of uncompleted and abandoned government infrastructure projects across the country. Revamp the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund to undertake strategic self-financing project for jobs and national transformation. As I already said, this fund was set up by President Mahama. Part of Terminal 3 at Kotoka International Airport, we paid from the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. As we know, that fund is collapsed, and what they have done in recent times is to pay $2 million to SkyTrain and $2.5 million on the botched contract on the Accra Tema motorway by Motor Angels. Just this last week, I'm told that Motor Angels is saying that nobody paid them $2.5 million for that contract. The question is, the Auditor General said $2.5 million was paid. So if Motor Angels did not receive the $2.5 million, where is the $2.5 million? We'll get to that answer later. The whole airport and others have been created. The other projects which will be done within that period with the family, any surrounding catchment areas will have the projects that are captured under the big push. Just to speed up because of time, the reconstruction and upgrade and extension of the Eastern Corridor rail line, which is a intermodal project, which will go through the areas that will tap the stranded assets of natural resources in the country. We know that Eastern Corridor would have those projects which will go to, the areas of bauxite and other things. But on the Western Corridor would also have projects all the way from Takoradi all the way to the northern part of the country with the border with Burkina Faso. The details of why we want to do this will come out in another presentation, but I can give you an example. Currently, Burkina Faso is a landlocked country and claim most of their goods from Tema. The understanding is that if we build an enhanced Takoradi airport and build a rail line from there to a location within our borders, then that could be a dedicated line for them to use. Provide an intercity light rail for Accra and Kumasi. Those details are also all in our manifesto because Accra is choked and there's no city in the world that has been able to deal with transportation by just leaving everybody on the road. There should be alternative in terms of that. The rollout of an urban city system in Accra and Kumasi will be part of it. The development of the secondary Takoradi Western Line I've already talked about. The other projects that are critical to Accra, if you check the traffic data of Accra, there's a need for us to have a loop. This project has been a project that President Mahama had. There's a growing concern about the cost and value of infrastructure project delivered under this government. A classical example is this. The NDC reconstructed the Awoshi Pokwasi Road, which is a 15-kilometer road with an additional work on other road amounting to 15 kilometers for around $120 million. The 15 kilometers is 8 lanes. So this idea that the Accra Tema motorway project is unseen before is neither there nor there. In any case, 4 of the lanes of the 10 lanes you want to build already exist, which is the 2 lanes going to Tema and 2 lanes coming to Accra. And as I maintain, the Accra Tema motorway remains one of the best roads in our country. I agree that portions are damaged, but the good thing is that those portions that are damaged are in concrete in expansion joints. You can actually remove those portions and replace them. And then you can build 2 slip roads by the side to increase the capacity of that road. The question is, even if you build Accra Tema motorway, 20 lanes on each direction, after you start and complete the motorway, where will you be going? You will still enter the traffic. So the solution is not to only increase the capacity on the motorway. The solution is to do deep thinking and to have the linkages that actually spread the traffic. That is why you see that when you are going to Tema today, you don't see any traffic at the Tema end of the motorway again. Because once again, President Mahama did the Tema end of the motorway interchange of which NPP is continuing, and I'm sure when it's completed, it will also enhance that. Pay interest. Now that Motor Angels is out of the project, ask yourself, if government of Ghana is the one paying for the project, why is it still 570 million, now moving to 660 million? I call on the government to immediately tell the public why the same project under PPP is costing the same amount of money when Ghana government is the sole funder of the project now. Like Accra to Motorway is not a PPP. It is a direct government contract. The contractor is only constructing. The contractor is not a developer funding the project. So once again, if we don't open our eyes, the NPP will take $570 million and give us something that is worth $200 million. We've seen it before and we will need to work on it. My brothers and sisters, in conclusion, the motorway itself is in a condition that needed to be improved. But I don't believe this is the best way to do it. I've already talked about our record on schools and education, our record on health, our record on ports, our record on healthcare and everything. There's no record in this country under the 8 years of President Mahama and Baumia that can match President Mahama's record on infrastructure, cutting-edge infrastructure at the time that you can get value for ourselves. That is why I said that the entire budget of President Mahama in 2016 was 50 billion. Today, as we speak, the indebtedness in the road sector alone is 100 billion Ghana cedis. The road sector alone, 100 billion. When in 2016, President Mahama under an IMF program was able to build the Tamaport, Ho Airport, Terminal 3 at Kotoka, start the phase 2 of Kumasi, Tamale Airport, and others. How come under this government, with $700 million, a billion Ghana cedis or so, they are unable to show any completed project started and completed? To conclude, fellow citizens, a vote for President Mahama is a vote for transformational infrastructure with enhanced value for money. I insist on value for money because the fact that you have awarded 100 billion cedis worth of project does not mean that we should be clapping for you, because the value of that could just be 1 billion. And I believe a vote for President Mahama would bring more infrastructure projects, create jobs, and enhance the 24-hour economy. And that is why I encourage everybody, vote for President Mahama and vote for all the parliamentary candidates of NDC around you to make sure that we get back to a stage where infrastructure means well for the people of this country. Thank you very much for the opportunity.